Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing German Whisper Through the Fog. You can see it doesn't exactly match the thumbnail, but trying to fit all of those words in would have been a bit of a struggle. Now, this particular series is part of Meggen033's one and only one line variants, kind of fog variants. There's another one which is all about kind of villages and towns. But I'll be honest, between you guys and me, just like a little secret, this is probably the fog puzzle I prefer more. I think the fact that you know that there is only one line just gives that little bit of a unique twist to kind of how you would play the puzzle, kind of with this additional fact in mind and how you actually go about solving it. German Whispers Through the Fog, I kind of imagined some kind of Bavarian German village covered in fog. I don't know if this is actually true, that Bavaria is known for fog. I mean, if you ask for fog, I would think, oh yeah, of course, San Francisco, London is fairly foggy, etc. I don't know if there's necessarily anywhere in Germany that is known for fog. Let me know down in the comments. I should have researched this in advance. But anyway, all of that aside, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with German Whisper Through the Fog by Meggen033. And the following set of fairly lengthy set of rules. Normal Sudoku, place the digits 1 to 9, once each in every row, every column, and then of course every 3 by 3 box, so fairly standard. There is one and only one green German whisper line along which adjacent digits must have a difference of at least 5. So if you imagine that this cell, for example, is a 2, these two adjacent cells would have to be 7, 8, or 9 to be 5 or more away. You would oscillate essentially between high digits 6, 7, 8, 9, low digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and back and forth around the 5, but never including the 5. If you take a second to kind of understand why, you'll absolutely appreciate it. The other part that's kind of somehow explicitly stated in the rules is that these two lines are clearly drifting off into the fog, connect somehow. It is one single green line. It may be doing something like that. That's absolutely fine. We don't know what it's doing. All we know is it's just one single line. We've got, of course, renbans. Digits along a magenta renban form a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. So if this cell is a 4, for example, the following two cells, they could be 3, 5. They could be 5, 6, as in 4, 5, 6, or 3, 4, 5. What I couldn't do at any point is go 4, 5, 7 because they're no longer consecutive set of digits. So that would break the renban. Let's keep this as an example. What else can I say? Digits, adjacent digits connected by an X must sum up to 10, and adjacent cells connected by a V must sum up to 5. So if with this X, these two cells need to sum up to 10, that X would have to be 6. That would be absolutely fine. They do sum up to 10. If you imagine for a second and suspend your disbelief of this wasn't an X, this was a V, then these two cells would have to add up to 5, and this wouldn't be a 6, this would be a 1 to make sure that they do add up to 5. Of course, we've got cages, so essentially, what is the language used here? Digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left. That means these three cells, for example, outlined by this thin dashed line to form a cage, have to sum up to 20. I'm sure there'll be others. Key thing to remember is that digits cannot repeat. So these two cells, if this is part of a cage, they're in different rows, different columns, different boxes, but they cannot repeat inside the same cage. Then we've got crop keys. A black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2 to 1 ratio, and a white dot between cells indicates consecutive values, and not all dots are shown. So let's use this example. These two cells have to be in a 2 to 1 ratio. One possible example of that would be 4 and 8. That absolutely works. If you imagine that this is a white dot rather than a black dot and this is a 5, well, these have to be consecutive. This would have to be 4 or 6 so that it is indeed consecutive. No negative constraints, emphasis on that, means that if I do have, let's go with 2 and 4 in here, clearly in a 2 to 1 ratio, 1 and 2 in here, clearly consecutive, no white dot and no black dot, all of that is allowed under today's rules. Then last but not least, and I imagine that's the reason you're all here, is of course fog. The grid is partially covered with fog, and correctly placing digits will clear the fog around that cell. and no guessing is required. So if any of these digits are correct, let's say that 2 is, the surrounding cells, which includes the diagonals, will be revealed and hopefully gives us some more information to allow us to progress so that no guessing is required. As always, if you want to play along, you know what to do. Link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And after this lengthy introduction of all the rules, let me restart the clock and see how I get on. Where am I going with this? Let me just have a think about this. So I'm kind of thinking the German whispers is sort of helpful, but not at the same time, not quite. Maybe this one is. So these are going to be, let's say, some color, purple. The other ones are going to be the opposite polarity. Actually, let me start with this one first and explain why I colored the other one. This would be green. This cell would also be green. And the reason is, to get to 10, you have to have a high digit, such as 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a low digit, such as 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be green. Where is 5 in box 1? That's the most obvious question. 5 can never be on a German whisper line because the neighbor, to be 5 or more away, would have to be 0 or 10. No 5s. No 5s. 5 can never be on a black Kropke dot because if it is on a black Kropke dot, well, to get a 2-to-1 ratio, it's either 10 or 2.5. Neither of which is allowed. Where is 5 now in box 1? It can only be in here. Now that means these two cells have to add up to 15, and you're not going to get there with using low digits. So I didn't actually need to go down this route at all. I know the polarity of these. These are high digits. These are low digits. The fact that I've got all the high digits already, these two have to be low. Therefore, this is 3, 4 to be consecutive with the 5. 3 and 4 in here means this is 6 or 8. This is also 6 or 8. 6 or 8. Well, this will be 1 or 2. This will be 1 or 2. Let's just leave it at that. We know that. And 6 or 8 means this will be 7 or 9. Essentially, remember, these two need to add up to 15. So it's either 8, 7 or 6, 9. And then to add up to 10, this is probably what's going to give us the rest of the break-in, this would have to be 6 or 7. Why is this going to give me my break-in? Let me just think. If this is 6, that's 3, that's 7, that's 9, that's 8. All of that is good. If this is 4, this is 6, this is 8, and this is a 7-9 pair. Interesting. This is definitely a 6 then in this column. This, no. Oh yeah, this is definitely a 9 in this row. This cell is a maximum of 1 or 2 given, this is 6 or 7. And surely one of these options isn't working, but I'm kind of struggling to see which one. This is a low digit, we know that. It's the next one to the German whisper line. It is unlikely to be a 4 because we know that this German whisper line continues, loops around, and comes back. So always use that additional piece of information. Now, if I just draw this, for me to go anywhere else, and I'm clearly not coming back into box 1, I'm going to have to continue. Yeah, it can be 4, never mind. Yeah, totally never mind. I mean, if it is 4, it would have to basically do something like that, because that would be 4, that would be 9, that would be 9. Neither of these would be 9. But nothing is preventing that. Right, I'm clearly not thinking clearly enough. I haven't missed any rules. So, what am I missing? Right, let's try this again. 8, 4, 6, 7, 9. I'm just going to kind of go through the logic once again. 1, 2. There you go, that breaks. I'm sorry, it took me so long to notice that. Is it? No. 8, 4, 6, 1, 1, 7, 9, 2, 4, 8. It all looks good to me. Second option, 6, 3, 7. That would be 1. That would be 9. And then that would be 8. That would be 4. That would be 8. Ho ho. I don't know how to progress. Right. 6, 9, 3, 7, 8, 1, 2, 4, 8. Yes. 8, 4, 6, 1, 1, 7, 9, 2, 3. There you go. Yes. Right. I'll show you. I can't believe it took me so long to see this. So I'm deliberately using one that is broken. 8 would require 4 to be in a 2-to-1 ratio. Would require, sorry, I think this is something that I had enabled from yesterday's puzzle when I wanted to show this. This would be 6. This would be 3. This would require another 6 where it would conflict. So long story short, this was forced. 6, 3, 7, 9, 8, 4, 8. Lovely. This is 1 or 2, can't be 3, and 4 is too close. This is a high digit that is not 6 or 8, it's 7 or 9. And this one, oh, this is a 2, and I'm stuck again. At least we've made progress. There's a second 1, 2 in here with a 3, 4. And then the question is, what am I connecting to? So this is 1, 3, or 5. For it to be consecutive, 2 and 4 are not available. 1 and 3 is, as is the 5. Interestingly, if this is odd, for it to be consecutive, this has to be even. So this is 2 or 4, it can't be 1 or 3 anymore. And because this is even to get to 5, this has to be odd, so this is 1 or 3. We'll keep playing this. This is now consecutive. 1 and 3 means this is 2 or 4. I have a 2-4 pair already in box 5. No, let's be fair, hugely useful necessarily to allow me to make progress, but information nevertheless. 1 and 2 in here gives me another high digit that definitely cannot be a 6 because it would have a 1, and then there will be the German whisper line will continue with another 1 in the same box. So this is 7 or 8, it cannot be 9. I feel like once again I'm maybe not getting the significance of all of this information. What's going on? This is suddenly like I'm finding it's a very tricky puzzle for me. So if this is 5, this is 4, this is 1, this is 2. This cannot be 1, 2, it would break this cell. So can't be 1, has to be 3, has to be 2, has to be 4, has to be 1 or 3. This is still 1 or 2. 2 in here gave me a 1 there. This is 7 or 8. This is a low digit that is not 1 or 3. It's 2 or 4. Can't be a 4 next to 7 or 8. It's a 2. This is a high digit. Next to a 2 can't be 6, can't be 8. This is 7 or 9. We know that this is the next digit along, and it's a low digit that is not 4 or 3, so it's the other 1, 2. We don't know what's happening in here to sort of come back round, but there's a very high chance it's connecting fairly soon. We do know the polarity of this. Essentially, I'm alternating polarity. So high, low, high. If I went the other way around, low, high, low, I've got 5 lows in box 5, which is impossible. That's my low digit. It's a 1. That's 3. These are 2 high digits that unfortunately could be... No, they can't be anything. It's only 7, 8, or 9 because the lines are straight. So this cell, if this is 6, that would have to be a double 1 in the same column. If this is 6, that's a double 1 in the same row, neither of which is allowed. 1, 2, and 3 tells me that this low digit can only be a 4. 1 and 4 in here tells me this low digit can only be 2 or 3. And I think we pretty much know now that this is the German whisper line. So this will be high, this will be low, this will be high. That all fits. This high digit is not 6 because it requires double 1. That's another 7, 8, 9. This low digit is 1, 2, 3. And then this high digit again can't actually, next to 4, both of these are double 9. I don't know why I'm debating this. That is not a 9. That 9 gives me a 7 up here, which requires a second 1, 2 as neighbors. This is a high digit now that is not 8 or 9. It is 6 or 7. 6 could be allowed with a 1, a 6, and then a 1 somewhere else. All of that is possible. Where am I going now? I'm glad I'm picking up steam. For a second, it felt like I was really getting stuck on, I don't want to say nonsense, but things I shouldn't be getting stuck on. To complete column 5, this is a 5, 6 pair. There's another 5, 6, 7 in here, and a 4. I like how I typed all of the numbers surrounding 4, but not 4. Where am I going here? Right, so the white Kropke dots, the X's, the white Kropke dot are probably my calling. Just need to think about it for a second. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all gone. So 5 is an option, but this can't be 4, it would have to be 6. 6 is an option, but this couldn't be 7, it would have to be 5. 7 is an option, but then it can't be 8, it would have to be 6. 8 is an option with a 9 in here. And this can't be 9 because this can't be 8. So this is an exhaustive list, I believe. 9 and 8 is fine. 6 can go to 5 or 7, yeah, and 5 would be forced to 6. Actually, it's 5, 6. 5, 6, they're not in here. Sudoku says these are 5, 6. That is not 9, therefore that is not 8. Need to have a 6 between these two cells too, because it's the only even digit that's connecting it all. Well, it's not quite enough to figure this out. These two cells are now 4, 9. That's the 9. That's the 4. This is 6 or 7. This is 1 or 2. It's not 2. That's 1. Allows me to actually continue with a 6 possibility in here. This is a high digit. And from the looks of things, actually it can't be 6 because of this one. So this German whisper line that's continuing in here is going to another 2, 3. That looks very much like the German whisper line loops here, and that this is a high digit, but we don't have enough visibility to make that, so it'll be an assumption. And I don't want to say we've nearly revealed the grid, but we've nearly revealed the grid. These are 5, 6, 9s. And then there's another 5, 6, 7 with a 4. And then these 3 cells are known. They are 2, 3, 8. Now, this is not helpful. I'm going to move on and see what I can do elsewhere. Maybe these white Kropke dots and X's. So 1, 2, and 3 are gone. 4, 5 is an option, which would have to be specifically in this direction. 6 and 7 are not available. 8 and 9 could be. And again, it would be very specifically in this direction. So it's either 4, 5 or it's 9, 8. Which also tells me if this is 5, 4, I have to fit 9 in here and 8 in there. Possible. If this is 9, 8, I would have to fit 4 in here and 5 in there. Just these 4s and 8s kind of help me round it up. Round it off rather than round it up. Again, not enough information. Except I always have a 9 in one of these two cells. It's either 9, 8 or it's 5, 4 with a 9. That is not 9, that is a 7. Doesn't feel very useful. like to think when you make these, what feels like a smart deduction that you sort of want to pat yourself on the back for. Actually, 7-8 pair, that is a 5. That would give you a bit more. I guess maybe it just wasn't necessarily or part of the solve path, so it gives you nothing. This is a 6-9 pair, unresolved. Don't know. 7-8, with this being 2 or 3, don't know. Like I said, the German whisper line here, that is, chances are this is a 9, but again, we can't determine that. Right, rest of this. So essentially I have another 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another 1, 2, 3. If this is the 5, 6, 7, 8, well, it can't be 7, 8, or 9. This would have to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, which is enough to probably use the X to kind of resolve the next bit. 1 with 2 works. 2 with 1 or 3 works. 3 with a 2 works because 4 is not available. 5, sadly, with a 6 works. And then 6 doesn't work because 7 is not available. And 5 doesn't work on an X because it would require a second 5. So 6, is not available. Now, on this side, this would require 4, 7, 8, 9. You can already see the problem here with the 8, 9 pair, which removes 1 and 2. 1 is not reachable anymore. 3 can get to 2, but 3 can't get to anything. So this is 2, 5. This is 3, 6. This is 4, 7. Again, not enough for progress. There is a 6, 7 virtual pair here, because it's either 6, 4, in which case this is 7, or it's 3, 7, in which case this is 6. Interesting, not a solution. In here, there's another 7 in this box, can only be in here. This is sadly still unresolved. It's another 1, 2, 3, or 5, 6. It's not 3, and it's not 1, 2, so it is 5, 6. That's a 5, 6 pair. That is a 2. That is a 3. That is a 7. That gives me my 6. That forces a double 1. That is a 2, 1, 3. And we're off and racing again. This is another 5, 6. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't seem to have enough to resolve. There you go. The German whisper line doesn't continue straight. It's actually taking a bit of a diversion. So, as it's stated, you know what assume makes of you and I. Don't assume in a fog puzzle. 3 is it one of these 2 cells? No, not useful. 1 is one of these. 2 is one of these. 2, 5 pair here, because it's not this side. And this is 1, 3, 6. Not 3, not 1. Nope, that's fine. Not 3 again. That's the only place for a 3, so can do that. Then I have another 7, 8, and 4. I don't seem to be able to remove anything. Then in here I have 3, 6, 9. That is not a 3. That is not a 9. In fact, that's the only place for a 3. This is not a 3 because of the 2, 3 pair. Yeah, that's a 3. There's 2, 5, 6, and a 4 in here. There's a 1, 5, 6, and an 8. This is a high digit. May as well use that. It's not 9, and it's 2 or 3. This would have to be 7 or 8. This is going to have to be a low digit. It can't be the 8. To be low, I've only got 1, 5, or 6 remaining. So that's 1, that's 6, that's 5, 6, 6. Not 6. This has to be the 6, 5 for it to be consecutive, and this is 5, 7, or 8, all of which is still available. Has it resolved any of these? It doesn't look it somehow. These, surely, yeah. 1, 2, 5, no. 4 with 2, 5, no. This is a high digit. That is not 6 or 9. This is another 7, 8. That gives me a 4 in here. That's not 4. This is not 7, or 9 for that matter. That is 5. That is 7. That is 8. That gives me 7 and 8 in here. 7, 8 gives me 2, 3, gives me 7, 8, 9. That's all good. The 6, 9 is kind of irrelevant to the German whisper line now. Yeah, until we actually place some out. This cannot be 3. No, it can be. I can have 8 and 9 surrounding it. I should say 9 and 8 surrounding it. And then 7 and then 2. It's fine. So whichever one is the 2, actually 7, 8. Come on, sleuth. That's 9. Therefore, that's 6. That's 9. That's 6. This is 1. Right, we've got some more Sudoku to do, surely. 4, 7 pair, unresolved. Another pair of 5, 9. That's the 9. That's the 5. I seem to remember, yeah, it was 2, 4, 5. Not very useful. 2, 3, and 8. Yeah, that 3 gave me 2, 3, 8, 7, and therefore 8 in here, 2 in there, 3 in there, 4 in here, 7 in there, 4 in here, 2 or 5 in there, unresolved. There is a 5 and a 4. The 4 is here, the 5 is there. This is 2, 5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5, 6. 6 is here. 5. And if I've not made any mistakes, 9 for the finish. Another beautiful puzzle. Meggen033. And I hope you guys enjoyed yet another fog puzzle. And like I said, my preferred variant. See you back soon. Bye-bye for now.